If everyone who watches this video can please subscribe, then I might get 150 subscribers in the next few days. Enjoy the video. What item under $50 drastically improved your life? Curved shower rod. I always appreciate them in hotels, but never got one for home. Big hotel doesn't want you to. A rice cooker and electric kettle. I used to sometimes eat rice and drink tea. I now eat rice and drink tea all the time. In England, you'd be seen as a weirdo if you didn't have an electric kettle, lol. Haha, this comment really baffled me as a Brit. But everyone has a kettle as standard, it's like having a fridge. Australia too, we stole the idea from you guys. Prob stole the kettle too. A cheap microwave and coffee maker for my work van. I have an inverter for my tools that I use to run them. Hot coffee and hot lunches make a huge difference, especially on bad days. A microwave in the winter is a game changer. Have one in my work truck and it makes the whole day better to have a warm lunch when you've been freezing outside all day. A wake-up light alarm clock. The light turns on gradually and wakes you up gradually rather than waking up to obnoxious beeping. Makes the start of my day more positive. What kind do you have? I've been wanting one of these for ages. Generally, any of the Philips ones are popular, but the good ones can be costly. Their most fully featured one is about $200 and constantly goes out of stock. It has great features like alarm scheduling for different days, lifesaver for college students whose classes start at different times depending on the day, and basic sleep tracking. They also have lower-end versions that don't quite have the same feature set but do the same functions. Here are the recommendations from the Wirecutter. A pretty trustworthy source. We bought our Philips one over 7 years ago. It was more than $50, around $100, but so worth it. We don't even use the whale up feature anymore. We use the sunset feature when we go to bed. After years of using the sunset and sunrise alarm features, my husband wakes up naturally around 6 a.m. now, and then I wake up when he gets up. It's amazing and totally worth $100. A rubber bristled broom. I have 2 dogs and 2 cats, and my house is all hardwood and tile. A regular broom just sends the fur floating everywhere, but my rubber broom keeps it all nice and tidy and easy to pick up. It works on my area rug and upholstered furniture, too. I didn't know they made those. I have an Alaskan Malamute, so I may have to try that out. Affinity Photo on sale for $25. I could leave Photoshop and the whole Adobe Creative Suite nonsense behind me. No more monthly payments, just these $25 once and I won the thing. Other thing was a used line tool for architects for €3. Normal price is €25. Making comic panels never was easier. I can't recommend Affinity enough. It's everything you could want from Photoshop without being owned by money-hungry Adobe. Photopicom is an online Photoshop alternative and it's free. It's only one guy doing all the developing himself, so give him a donation if you can. Holy! I just tried it and it's awesome. I've struggled with GIMP and really don't like Apple's free photo editing software, but I'm not going to pay for Photoshop. This gives me exactly what I need. 11-pound capacity digital kitchen scale, for baking, cooking and correctly identifying portion sizes. It has changed the way I bake. No more trying to make the measuring cup level, or worrying about the compactness of my flour. I even buy the large block of butter instead of the more expensive 1/2 cup sticks because I can just weigh it out. Just put the mixing bowl on the scale and tear after each ingredient. Is it a US thing to not have a scale? I've never been to a household without a scale. European here. We don't measure kitchen ingredients like that in the US, so no, a lot of households don't have kitchen scales. 3-meter long charging cable. I got a 10-port USB extension cable to a friend who was recovering from surgery at a hospital. He told me that was the best present he ever got. his words in my life. I've spent months hospitalized before, and while there are many outlets behind the bed and around the room, they're all just barely out of reach of your average 3 feet cable that comes with your phone. Being in the hospital is really boring. You'll be surprised how quickly you can kill your phone's battery. Then you have to ask a nurse to plug it in for you, and twiddle your thumbs for 2 hours while it charges over on a table out of reach. If you're lucky, you can time it right so you start charging right when you get some morphine and can take a dope nap. A long cable is amazing. A foldable laptop stand for €15. Always thought you didn't need this stuff. How different from without one can it be? But it does wonders for my neck, travels everywhere with me now. Also, a 2M phone cable, it's the. Try a 3M phone cable. 3M makes phone cables. 3M makes everything. Shower chair. I've got a head up back and I initially got it for that, but even if my back was fine I'd still have one. They're so useful. If you shave your legs, you won't regret it. Let us all remember one of the greatest posts in history. He didn't have to give us a diagram, but he did. He did that for us. I'm heavily pregnant ATM and have been seriously considering getting a shower chair LOL. Now I think I may just go ahead and do it. Hot water bottle. I live in cold Scandinavia and have chronic pain. It gets used pretty much all year around. I recently backed a Kickstarter campaign for the heat bag. It's made by the guys that also made the ostrich pillow. It has a clay core you can boil or put in the microwave. When heated, you can put it into a kind of pillow, thick, soft and insulated on one side and silky on the other side. It feels amazing and keeps the heat longer because of the insulation. This thing is amazing. I gifted it to my girlfriend for Christmas and she loves it. Earplugs. They saved my final exams in high school when my sister and her 1,5 and 3 kids tornadoed through the whole house. I play some music super low on my earbuds and then wear my shooting ear protection over them. I can't hear and instantly focused. Saved me every time I took an exam last semester at my noisy parents' house. Man, I know we've been going through this pandemic together and all, but it's still surreal for me to read about people taking exams at home. It's the worst. Professor last term gave 25 questions in 20 minutes. The kicker, though, was no going back and forth between questions. You see a question once and have to answer, so no time to do easy questions first, or skip and come back to it later. Weighted blanket and / or a good pillow. Your sleep quality will improve. Being well rested has to be one of the few good things to happen to me in 2020. I had a weighted blanket for years. It was my cat on top of the blanket. You just connected my dots, friend. My cats both died this past summer after more than a decade of night snuggles. I bought a weighted blanket as a gift for someone who didn't want it. Many months later used it myself. It felt so familiar. I didn't realize why until your comment. It made me feel very comforted to make the connection, so thank you, sincerely, for sharing today.